can.
Awesome. All right. Well, we will get started, and we will start first with Pete Sweeney. Go ahead, Pete.
Hey, Orlando. Just general and kind of a widespread question here. What's been the talk amongst the guys with losing, quite a few players in practice looking pretty different today than it usually does?
Yeah, just next man up mentality, man. Coach Reed's been preaching that, and that's really just been the mindset, making sure that everyone's ready to go.
Let's go next to Sam McDowell. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Orlando. Another COVID-related question, but did the vaccines entering this year, and I'm guessing so, offer you guys a little bit of security that you wouldn't be dealing with this season, what you are dealing with now?
I don't necessarily know if I would say that, but I do. Man, I'm vaccinated. You know what I mean? I didn't necessarily think that, with people, there's word that people were still catching it even though they were vaccinated. So I knew it wasn't 100% proof, but yeah, I mean, kind of is what it is with that.
Do you feel like now that it's here at the rate that this variant is going around, that you guys need to change anything that you're doing, whether it's inside the facility or even when you leave the facility and go home?
Yeah, man, honestly, I mean, I'm fine. I mean, that's really more so up to the higher ups. So
let's go next to Adam Teicher. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Orlando. Just wondering, with so many guys getting COVID, what's the mood in the locker room right now? I mean, are guys sort of waiting, wondering who's next, or are you thinking at all, when is it going to be my turn, that kind of thing?
Yeah, and like I said a little bit earlier, man, Coach Reed hit on it. Just next man up, making sure that everyone's ready to go, make sure that you know what's going on with your position and how the guy ahead of you handle business.
Let's go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Orlando, football-wise, the offensive line and you in particular really seem to have settled in and found your rhythm. We heard a lot of conversations from Coach and Patrick talking about kind of finding that rhythm with him. How much of it is maybe Coach Reed finding a rhythm with what you and all, since it's an entirely new offensive line, just what your strengths and weaknesses are and how that kind of came together and when you felt like maybe you and the coaching staff were clicking?
Yeah, man, it's football is, all about growth, and it's like everlasting, man, and we strive to continue to get better each and every day, each and every game, consistently throughout our career. And that was something I took from Marshall Yanda as a young player. And man, I've just been bought into Coach Heck and everything that he's teaching, everything that Coach Reed is throwing at us, and Coach EB, man, just really buying in. And as a unit, I feel like we've done that as a whole. And Pat's done the same, man. And, we've been able to grow together this year, and we'll continue to grow and continue to get better as a unit and working cohesively with him.
Let's go next to Nate Taylor. Go ahead, Nate.
Orlando, as of now, at least, it appears that you guys are going to face TJ Watt. Just what makes him such a tough challenge? Obviously, being in the division previously with Baltimore, how did you try to sort of counteract what he does, and how much more opportunities will you get a chance to maybe go with him in this style of offense?
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you what I did, but he's an incredible player, man. TJ is definitely one of the best. In my opinion, man, he should have been Defensive Player of the Year for the last 2 years, but Aaron Donald does what he does too. But, man, TJ is an amazing player. He plays with an effort unknown to mankind. He's very skilled at what he does, very precise with the way that he attacks your hands, and has a really good feel for the game of football, man. He's somebody that, very rarely are you able to just keep him off a stat sheet. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. So, and I, like you said, man, I played him my first few years in the NFL, and, I mean, bro, he's an amazing player.
Let's go next to Herbie Teope. Go ahead, Herbie.
Orlando, Nate actually stole my question.
Yeah.
but along those same lines, you got the Steelers here. They have 41 sacks in the NFL, second most in the league, and you've played them before. What about that defense do you have to mentally prepare yourself differently compared to some of the other teams you may face?
Man, I think the most important part when facing the Pittsburgh Steelers, man, is being able to win your one-on-ones. And that's what they pride themselves on as a defensive line. And that's what they do really well. And that's why they're always very high sack numbers, man, with that group. It's one-on-ones practically the whole game, and run and pass. And so that's something as an offensive line you just got to make sure that you take care of on game day.
Let's go next to Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Orlando, I know you're hoping the season goes on for a little while, but getting to the end of the year, and this is last year of your contract. You're going to be potentially a free agent in the off season. And have you had any conversations with your agent or the Chiefs about the future? And, what are your feelings about making this your home going forward?
Yeah, man, absolutely love it here in Kansas City. At the end of the day, though, man, I've just been focusing on my play and controlling what I can control. As far as that type of stuff, contractual stuff amongst my agent, I just let them handle that, man. For me, it's been all ball since I've been here, and that's been my focus.
And we'll go last to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
Orlando, 3 and 4, right? The conversation about this football team was whether or not you were going to make the playoffs. And now you're all the way back to the 1 seed. You've been fighting for that since week 7. There'd be a normal tendency to maybe say, and I know this is where you guys, I'm sure, felt you would be, right? Would it be right up towards the top of the standings? There might be a normal tendency to have a letdown or maybe not a letdown, but at least exhale and say, okay, we got this now. Do you worry about that? Do you guard against that at all?
Not at all, man. We set the bar really high here, and ultimately we've got bigger goals, but, we just take it 1 week at a time, preparing ourselves this week for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Orlando, we appreciate the time. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
All right, guys, we'll get our next